Everyone's talking about self care these days. Bubble baths, retail therapy, binge watching your favorite Netflix show, scrolling your feed. We call all these things taking time for ourselves. And sure, those things feel good in the moment, but is that really self care? Are they really helping us to grow, or are they quietly numbing us? Convincing us that we're doing something for ourselves while holding us back from the real work, the deeper growth that our soul is craving. Over the last decade, self care has exploded as a trend. I mean, if you search the hashtag self care on Instagram, you're going to be met by millions of posts, right? But when you scroll through, you might notice that most of those are ads for skincare, products, vacations, quick indulgences. Self care has become an industry. So I think we need to ask ourselves, is this actually self care? Or is it consumerism dressed up as healing? These kinds of activities give us quick dopamine hits. They soothe, they distract, they allow us an escape for a little while. And sometimes in small doses, we need that. That's okay. But if it becomes the whole picture, if we stop there, then it doesn't restore us. It keeps us circling in the same patterns over and over. There's a huge difference between coping and growing. This is where people can kind of sabotage themselves. Coping helps us survive the moment, whereas growing means we're willing to face the deeper truths and actually change. Coping can look like scrolling late at night because you don't want to feel what's actually underneath. Coping could look like pouring another glass of wine after a stressful day, or telling yourself that online shopping is treating yourself when really it's avoiding the emptiness you don't want to face. And I say all that without judgment. I've done this. We've all been there. But growing looks very different. Growing might mean sitting in discomfort long enough to hear what it's trying to tell you. Growing could look like having the hard conversation that you've been putting off. Sometimes it's accountability. Sometimes it's holding yourself steady in the fire of discomfort until the lessons reveal themselves. And this is where the sabotage happens. When we confuse coping with growing, when we think we're doing the work, when we're really not. Hard truth is that real growth is not always comfortable. It asks you to listen to feedback instead of rejecting it, to accept failure as a teacher, to stay with yourself when it would be easier to run. These things don't make for pretty Instagram posts though, right? But they're the foundation where true freedom lies. Self-care isn't just about feeling good in the moment. It's about becoming the kind of person who can meet life fully, who can handle both the joy and the difficulty without falling apart. And that requires resilience. It requires strength, and it requires courage. So, what does self-care really look like then? I'm going to offer a few examples, and there are others. Self-care could look like reflective practices, journaling, meditation, but not as an escape, as a way of getting honest with yourself. Self-care could look like active growth, learning new skills, repairing a relationship, taking responsibility for health issues maybe you've been avoiding. In my own work, I see this over and over again. True healing does not come from piling on more surface level fixes. It comes from facing the root cause. And while, yeah, that can feel harder in the moment, again, it's where the real freedom lies. So I want to leave you with this question. What does self-care really mean? Is it distraction or is it truth? And this week, when you find yourself reaching for a comfort habit, I invite you to pause and ask yourself, Am I coping or am I growing? If you're ready to go deeper into this kind of exploration, to move past the surface level fixes and into the real work of becoming your truest self, I invite you to join us inside the Alchemy Circle, my free community where we explore these kinds of truths together, and you'll find the support to walk this path in a real, grounded way. Thanks for watching.